again. Well, I'm nearing the peak already. Really close to it now. Really close. Came up this one little steep pitch right here. The pitch was maybe about 20%. But yeah, there we are. Just about on Elsinore Peak already. It's a good way to spend a Sunday morning. Devising a new way to climb up an old favorite. Just wanted to try something different today. Instead of the usual walk up the road. Well, this clip will be where I reach the summit. There's going to be a little mound right behind the... Well, actually, it'll be on this side here of the towers. We're actually closer to the actual summit than we are to the towers. I was hoping that we'd be above the clouds, but oh well. All right. This will be my first summit of the year, finally. First summit of 2021. It'll be an old favorite, but a much different route. Figured it's time to try a more challenging way to get up this one. So I basically just followed it. I don't remember making any turns or anything. I just walked up the trail and just followed it. The trail's at its most indistinct over by one of the grassy areas over there. That was where it was most indistinct, but still easy to follow it. And now, just about to summit. So, here we are again. Elsinore Peak, 3,575 feet above sea level. And it's nice and cool. There's a little nice breeze blowing. Not much views to be had today, but I'll take it. I feel like I earned hiking up here this time. I took a longer approach to get up here. Usually just come up that service road there. But no, took a mountain bike trail or use trail, whatever you want to call it. And I remember the last time I was here, I went down and joined that use trail there, went around the ridge, then ended up the trails ended up petering out, and I ended up having to walk through grass and buckwheat. And this was summertime when I did it last, so I was looking out, making sure I don't step on any rattlesnakes. But here we are. It's one of the reference markers for Elsinore Peak. The reference markers point to where the benchmark is. Benchmark should be over here, but I believe the actual benchmark was lost. This is another reference marker right here. So this is it. My 5th time on Elsinore Peak. This time from a very different direction, which I'm glad I did it a different way this time, because you don't want to do the same thing all the time. You want to vary it up a little bit and just make it fun. I always love coming up here, but I like to try different ways if I can. Just look at that beautiful chaparral, just all nice, thick, and lush. you this is close to the highest I've ever seen black sage, Salvia mellifera. This black sage actually has to deal with snowfall occasionally. By this time tomorrow, it'll probably be snowing up here. I mean, tomorrow's tomorrow's the day off before going back to work, so I always do my stretching out and hiking the first day, and the second day is I kick back and try to mellow out before going back to crazy work. But right over there, Rancho Capistrano, got a little sun over there, so it's not like a full-blown overcast. So there are peaks of sun here and there. You can tell though, the main part of the Santa Ana Mountains completely socked in, it looks like, from here. Now Santiago Peak definitely got snow yesterday. If you go on YouTube, there's actually a Santiago Peak live cam by this guy's channel, SoCal Broadcast Engineer, I think his name is. And he has sometimes you'll see his videos where he's driving up Maple Springs Truck Trail to Santiago Peak to, talk about his equipment, or sometimes he'll do it just to show, how crazy it can be going up there, especially when there's snow up there. And he also has a Santiago Peak live cam. Sometimes I like to check it out when winter storms come to see if it's actually snowing up there, and sure enough, they got snow. But this one didn't. This storm didn't bring down the snow levels as low as what tomorrow's is supposed to bring it down to. Possibly, I said previous clip, around 2,000 feet. So, yeah. Like I said, Ortega Highway could be getting some on this one. But yeah, so I remember on one of my videos, I actually walked. Yeah, I think it was the October 2019 video. I actually walked. I did the hike up to Elsinore Peak. It was the first time I shot footage of hiking Elsinore Peak. And I remember going along this for a while. This is the way I just came up, and I was talking about the shrubs around here, like the chamise, and I remember talking about these guys right here, Big Berry and Eastwood manzanitas. Cool, both of them are growing together. Here's another thing. You could tell without even touching the leaves. They say Big Berry manzanita leaves are smooth and glabrous, which is smooth. Eastwood kind of has a rough, kind of almost slightly sandpapery texture to it. Those are the glandular hairs. But if you see a manzanita that's blooming in January, usually you're looking at Big Berry. See, these ones are already blooming. Little tiny bell-shaped flowers. Well, these ones are not quite open yet, but Big Berry manzanita tends to start blooming early during the winter months. So right now they're not open, they're still developing, so probably February would be probably a really good time to see Big Berry manzanita in bloom. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to make this happen today. Glad I made it up here. This was a definitely nice little treat getting up here, but trying a different route. Sometimes it's more fun when you vary it up. You can go to the same place, you can love it, but if you can find myriad different ways to get up there to make it fun, it'll make things more interesting. And maybe you won't get tired of going. I'm never going to get tired of coming up here to Elsinore Peak. Never am. But it is great to make an adventure out of it. Taking fire breaks and use trails. It does make things more interesting. If you're going to go to the same spot multiple times, if you can find multiple ways to get there, that's a good thing. And that's why I wanted to do it this way. And I'm glad I made my first summit climb of 2021. Now I gotta go down this steep little bit here. This little bit here is the one I was talking about. It was about 20, probably about 20, maybe 20, about 20, 25 degrees. It's pretty steep, so that's why I'm kind of just lightly walking down right now. Look at all that manzanita. That's probably mostly big berry manzanita, but Eastwood manzanita mixes in over here too. There's a lot of manzanita. It's these lighter green, leafier shrubs that you see kind of banding down this hill and down into that gulch right there. This is a beautiful hike. It's not as strenuous. It's actually quite an easy hike. About, I said, probably about, since I had a nice downhill portion on the way here, I would say it's probably closer to 700 feet of elevation gain. Maybe a little bit more if you're making the same return like I'm going to do. I'm just going to hike back the same way. But sure made for a nice nice adventure. Just to go somewhere different. Well, to go somewhere the same, but a different way. Now it looks like the coastal side of the Santa Ana's is a little cleared up more. But you know, I left my house, it was nice and sunny in North Orange County. And then got to Santa Ana River Canyon, you know, where 91 goes between the Santa Ana Mountains and Chino Hills. And so we started seeing more cloudiness. Driving up here, there were some pretty dense spots of fog and cloudiness, and there were people biking up Ortega. I've never seen people biking up Ortega yet. I'm pretty sure it happens quite often now that I'm coming up here more often. I mean, I came up that way last time. I came up Ortega from I-15 from the Lake Elsinore side, and the fog got very dense on a few brief occasions, and I was like, oh crap. I'm hoping that there are no mountain bikes riding up, because it was almost impossible to see them, because it was starting to get foggy and dense when I saw a group of them. I was like, oh boy. I was trying to be really careful, so I really slowed my speed down in that fog. So the last thing I want to do is mess up somebody's day, and my own, of course, by being reckless and causing an accident. A little used trail up here. Let's see where this leads. A little pathway up this way. Might lead up to an overlook or something. Since I'm already here, I may as well make for an adventure. It's gonna lead up to this little knoll right here. Cool. It's a little bump along the ridge. Cool, I like this. Nice. We're maybe about 10, 15 feet above the connecting ridge. There is that steep part right there I went up. That was a pretty steep part I went up right there. Just want to see where this would lead. Excuse me. A little tired. I was a little sleepy when I got up. There's that manzanita, that little gulch right there I was talking about. It's pretty over here. Oh, I see Toyon down there. Of course, chamise up the wazoo. A lot of chamise, chaparral yucca, some ceanothus here and there. Cool little overlook over here. I know there were a couple little small points along the ridge that look like they might be like miniature summits, so I might end up seeing if I could break off to them during the course of my return trip, just for a little extra exercise and maybe another another round of perspective on this nice area. Yeah, a lot of this area has been disturbed by human activity, a lot of clearing and stuff like that, but a lot of this area is still very nice and natural looking. So it's really neat to see the rest of what this area has to offer. I think I lost that little use trail. Huh. I lost the little path. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I made a little snafu there. There we go, there's a trail. Trying to minimize the off-trail part here. Not because I don't want to hike cross country, but this area's already been disturbed so much. But yeah, I know there are a couple little hills in the area that would probably be quite worth exploring. So maybe I'll hit them on the way out. Over there, it's kind of hard to see. There's a nice rocky outcropping right where that slope starts steepening right there. Just little things like that, you know, make it fun to do these outings. For me, it's kind of like a combination nature walk and actual summit focused hike. That's what I like to do with my hikes. I like to A, climb summits, but B, also turn them into nature hikes, even if the hike itself might be strenuous. And typical quote-unquote nature hikes are usually these easy little strolls, like half-mile strolls in a beautiful area. But why not turn a summit-focused hike into a nature hike? Appreciate all the awesomeness around you. There's a beautiful meadow. I mean, I know this is pretty much invasive grass here, but I still think it's pretty. It's just, you know, it's not really supposed to be here. But I mean, to me, it is appealing to the eyes. It looks good. Might not be the greatest thing for the area, especially we're trying to keep our chaparral from losing its foothold. But I mean, it does look appealing. And in a month or two, if we get more rain, which remains to be seen after this week, then this area could turn into a nice green, nice patch of green. Well, I'll see you on the next clip. I'll see you on the next clip, and we'll see if I find any other little knolls to climb after this. See you on the next clip.